An inspiring documentary is now showing on Crackle that explores an adventure that proves it doesn't matter what your size. When you put your mind to it, you can climb any height. Let's welcome Eve Bogdanove, therapist and climber in Kili Big, a Chicken Soup for the Soul documentary on Crackle Plus. It's great to have you with us.
Thank you for having me.
So first, let's just establish, what is the premise for Kili Big? What is it about?
It's a group of 20 fat women. Some people say plus size. I say fat because it's really just an adjective. And we met online through a Fit Fatty group on Facebook, and we planned to hike the tallest freestanding mountain on the planet together. And it was all inspired by Krista Kohler, who had hiked with Whoa before, and was always the last one to camp, and she was the fattest one on the crew. So she wanted to hike with her peers, and when I saw it, I was like, I'm gonna do it too.
Yeah, and what we're talking about is Mount Kilimanjaro in Africa, and this is 19,341 feet at its peak.
Yes.
What was that experience like?
Well, it's in the country of Tanzania, on the continent of Africa, but it was the most majestical. For me, it was a holy experience, honestly. And altitude is not something I had ever done in my life before, and you really have to train for it, because if you don't have enough oxygen, your brain gets really compromised, and it could be a life or death on the top of the mountain. Yeah, so I trained for.
Oh no, I can imagine, because I know a lot of people who've tried to climb Mount Everest, they don't even make it that far because of such harsh conditions. So you have to go through a lot of training. How long was your training?
I trained for a year before the trek.
Wow.
And I worked with a trainer who really emphasized the importance of cardiovascular health, so that my lungs and my heart would be as efficient as possible.
Did you learn
and
more?
So part of my training, I had. Oh.
I'm sorry. There's just a little bit of a delay, so forgive me. But if I could also just ask you, so in your training and more self-discovery about your body, did you realize that you can be fat, as you put it, or plus size, as some put it, and also healthy and fit?
I had that knowledge. I've had that knowledge my whole life. Not like everybody on the trek. I've been identified as a fat activist since I was the age of 14, and read fat is a feminist issue. And have done some performance artwork around fatness. So I came to it fully clear that you can be fat and fit. As part of my training, I did the local triathlon here in Greenfield, and it was that was actually more surprising to me than climbing the mountain.
Was it really?
Because that's a certain kind of athlete. Yeah, that's a certain kind of athlete, and I didn't really identify as that kind of athlete. But I've been hiking my whole life, and so that always felt like a more manageable kind of athleticism. Yeah. But swimming, running, and biking all in the same morning feels like, whoa, that's amazing.
Better you than me. I wouldn't even attempt it. I know myself too well. But I would imagine that an experience like this, that would bring a group of 20 women much closer together, maybe in ways that are profound, and maybe in others. I don't know. Maybe you could tell me what coming together was like for you all.
It was so affirming. I mean, we were all at different stages of our sort of comfortability around the word fat, at our identity as plus size women. We were all at different stages, but when we came together, suddenly there was an affinity and a mirroring that that so many of us had not experienced before. And when you're in a large group of people who are just like you, I think for some people it was healing. I think for some people it was just deeply meaningful, and it definitely created lifelong connections.
Would you ever do it again?
Probably not, because I'm 54 now. I could do it again if I wanted to, but I'm going to do other things. I'm still active and fit and all of that, but I've done Kili and I feel good about it.
Is there anything that you can share with us of the next adventure that you would love to have, or that's kind of on your bucket list?
Oh my goodness. I'd like to continue to do the triathlon in my hometown.
Yes.
I think that's like a wonderful yearly goal for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, Kili Big is the title of the documentary, and you can find it on Crackle Plus. Just download it and you can watch it for free. I want to thank you so much, Eve, for joining us and sharing with us this incredible adventure. Truly inspiring.
Oh, great. Awesome. Thank you.
We're back in 2 minutes.